Alright, 6th and 7th graders, this is step 2 for your Project 2 Still Life. You will need your art book and a pencil, eraser, and a picture of your still life that I sent. It's in your last week's folder and there's a link. If you can print it out, please print it out. But I know I have 3 students, I believe, Ruthie, Lucy, and John. I don't know if you're able to print this out. I'd highly recommend it. If you can't print it out, please reach out to me and let me know. I could mail one to you, or I could leave it at the CEC entrance and you can just come pick it up. Please let me know. It'll be easier to do this project if you have a printed out version. You could try to look at the screen and draw from there, but again, this paper is about the same size as your art book paper, so it's just easier to have it right here, like how I have it set up. So please reach out to me if you don't have a printed out version of this. So what we're going to do now, last week we went ahead and we just talked a little bit about still lives and we just mapped out, kind of just put them in a rectangular or square shape form, each of the objects, and just kind of showed, compared each one where they are located in space, in this space. So what we're going to do today is we are going to start drawing the objects as if they're transparent wire frame forms. So this technique is going to help you be fully aware of the shape of each individual form and its position in relation to the other forms. So using vertical and horizontal lines and just kind of like outlining each form a little bit. It's very important to be sketching these objects lightly. I'm going to say that a lot. Don't push down too hard because especially for this step you will be doing some erasing. So taking your time, sketching lightly. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going naturally when I am drawing something like this. For this especially, I'm drawn to going back the object that's the furthest away and then coming to closer. So I do this one, this one, this one, this one, something like that. So I'm going to start with the bottle, and what I'm going to do is taking this rectangle, I'm going to be, and I'll zoom in when we concentrate on just the bottle, making sure I can see. I'm going to take this rectangle and I'm going to cut it in half. So using a vertical line and just going straight down. This bottle is symmetrical. It's the same on both sides. Something we talk about kindergarten, first grade. So lightly, I want you to try to do this without a ruler. Just sketching lightly as best you can and going slow, taking your time. Okay, so a light line going down. So that's going to show kind of the evenness, the balance on both sides because this is a symmetrical form. Another horizontal type of line I want you to do, so looking at kind of where this bottle starts to curve. If I go to about, so it's going down, about right here, kind of almost lining up with the yellow, the top of the yellow bucket, it starts to curve a little bit, kind of like a little smiley face smile curve. And what I want you to do is replicate that, copy that curve. So about right here. And you can be drawing along with me, just making sure you're watching first and seeing what I'm doing. But you could draw along with me, but I also want you to be really looking at your picture too, okay? Because how I draw is different how you draw. Everybody draws differently. So you can watch what I do and then pause the video and then go ahead and look at your bottle and draw from there. We're going to copy this line and we're going to go down here, and it's hard to see in this picture because of the shadow, so I apologize for that, but I'd say the bottle ends about right there. So we're going to copy this curve line and we're going to do the same type of curve line that matches right here. So if you come out a little bit from that box, that's okay. Drawing lightly. Now we have kind of that form set. What we're going to do now is we're going to start at the top and kind of getting that outline of that bottle. So looking up here, remember they're the same on both sides. So lightly drawing. It's kind of like a bubbly rectangle. And then it comes out a little bit. Show that top of that bottle form. And what I like to do is I like to draw on both sides and work my way down, switching back and forth. And then if you look right here, there's kind of it's almost like a little curve about right here. And then working your way down. And again, drawing on both sides at the same time, back and forth. Shows and tries to keep it balanced and symmetrical. Now that's a start. When I look at my bottle and I compare it to here, it seems shorter in my drawing than right here. So it's a start, and we're gonna move on. And you might adjust things, change things as you go once you draw the other objects in. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next, just getting that transparent wire frame. Kind of looks like instead of it's constructed by glass, it's constructed by wires a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do the yellow bucket now. So about, you see where that little curve is right here, going up a little bit. So we're going to do that oval shape, cylinder form, oval shape. Now it's a very thin oval. Really important to be looking, observing that picture. Okay. And then there's a mark that shows that curve, that form shape that goes right underneath. So it's that curve is what gives your work three-dimensional form. If it was straight, it would be flat, and that would not be three-dimensional. Please draw light. Okay, so working our way down. So about right here, you're going to get that curve back in here. So this is a straight line across right here. You're going to copy this curve from up here and do the same type of curve down here. You don't want it to be too curved, or you don't want it to be not curved enough. Try to make it just exactly the same. Okay, and then if you can see, it's hard to see, but there is a line that matches this line up here. So about the same distance apart. And drawing lightly, you will be erasing it once it's behind the apple, or once we draw in the apple. And let's go ahead and symmetrical. Probably should have done this first, but drawing very lightly, that's good practice. Just making sure that equal on both sides. And then adding that extra curve. It's just going to kind of show you how it's spaced out. Okay. Now we're going to move to this cup right here. So this oval is bigger, a lot bigger than this one. So thinking about how wide that is. Really looking at that picture. And I might even stretch this out farther. Now that I look at this even more, something I missed, and you might notice this too, there's only just a little bit of space in between here. And that makes more sense to me to have that out a little bit further. And drawing lightly. Okay, so once you have that oval in, then I want you to go ahead and split it down the middle. So about halfway down the middle. And go back to that curve. You can start kind of the erasing process. You know that bottle's behind it, so erasing so that you don't see the lines of the bottle. You can start that. This curve right here has to go and be the same down here. And just go ahead and do an extra one, and this will just help you kind of understand why that curve is so important, and that's how you make a nice form. And then we could go ahead and add just a little extra detail. If you look up here, this rim of this cup has a little rim. So just going ahead and mapping that out, drawing that out. Very little rim. Edge. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move to our final object, the apple. So the apple is different from all of these. It's not quite a cylinder form, so I threw that in there just to kind of challenge you, give you something a little different to do. So the apple, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a sunshiny glare on my paper. That doesn't mess with you too much. So go to where you find the stem and go ahead and just draw in that stem, so that little curved rectangle. And the apple, kind of like a cylinder form, has that roundness. So right where up here, so here's the top of the apple, and then it starts to drop. So around, I would say like right in here, you're gonna draw kind of a curve showing a little bit of a tilt, just like that. And then after you kind of get that curve established, you're gonna go ahead and outline that apple very lightly. It follows that curve, and I think it's going to be a little bit bigger than what the box I put it in. And so I'm just going to take some time and map out the space of the apple. You can kind of see, you know, when it goes into the stem, it swallows into the stem, if that makes sense. Kind of goes into that valley. But we're going to really work on that curve. Okay. So after we'll just leave this. This is step 2. Next step, we'll do some erasing. We'll clean it up a little bit more, clean up our edges, and yeah. Eventually, we'll start talking about shading soon. So, nice work.